All right, Erin.
Hi.
Erin, where are you from originally? Where'd you grow up?
South Central.
What part?
Like off of Florence and Broadway, Slauson, Vernon. I always lived on Broadway.
Tell me about your family growing up.
I lived with my parents until I was about 11. With my mom, my dad. It was a lot of like abuse and so like no, just it was rough, growing up with them. And we ended up living with our grandma and grandpa when I was 11. I was there for about 2 years with my grandma and grandpa, but I didn't really take losing my parents too well, and I didn't really understand. So I started like being bad and getting kicked out of school, fighting, just being real rebellious. And I hit the system when I was 13 because I started getting arrested for stealing cars, just doing whatever in the streets. And I started going to jail. And after I went to jail when I was 13, my grandma, I became a ward of the state. And after that, it was a wrap. I went to a mental hospital right before that because I didn't take it too well, and I tried to overdose on pills. And so I was in a mental institution for maybe 3 weeks, I think it was. Got out, and then went back to jail. My grandma dropped custody, became ward of the state. Basically, from 13 to 18, I spent in juvenile hall, camp, back in and out, foster homes, placements, I was adopted, or not adopted, but I had got a caregiver when I was about 16 and a half, almost 17, from a woman that used to be from the same gang, gang as me, but she was older, and she used to do like 3-ways and stuff for all the homies when they were busted. So she would, when you do 3-ways, you hear the conversations. So she basically would hear about conversations all the time. So I did 8 months flat, and then I got out for a week and went back for 11 months. And so she heard all the conversations I was having.
So a 3-way is what?
3-ways, you're in jail and you call somebody, and then they you give them the number that you want to call, and if they don't collect calls or something, so it's like basically somebody who accepts collect calls, and then they do a 3-way, meaning they'll call somebody else for you. So they're on the line, but they can hear your conversation to whoever else you're talking to.
And what's the reason for doing it?
It's just for homies, or it's just like a lot of people that get busted, like they have when our homies get busted, the phone calls are the most important thing because that's all you really get.
From jail.
Yeah.
Or prison.
Yeah, and people pay for 3-ways, because you have to have, they still collect calls and they could call other people on the same line.
Oh, I see.
So
Right.
so yeah, she basically I needed somewhere. I was about to get out. I didn't have nowhere to go and no places or they wanted to take me no more because I had been there to 8 different ones. So she ended up, long story short, she wanted to go find my mom. It didn't work out well, and she said, I'll take you in if you want. And I just thought it was gonna be like, oh, she's gonna take me in, I'm gonna just run the muck afterwards, just the favor. But now she ended up taking custody of me, and she's been a part of my life since then. She still is, and she's been nothing but good to me, and so I got out, but I just went right back to jail. Started continuing to gang. My life was just pure, just gang banging in the streets. I wasn't really too much into drugs because weed and stuff, but I was just trying to get my title in the streets, and went back to jail for another year. Caught a murder case, in and out, and beat it. Got out, and I was just in the street. I was doing kind of good, until I was 27, and then I got married when I was 30. Now I'm just separated and stuff. It didn't work. I married for 6 years. Almost, it didn't work out, and now I'm just stuck in my addiction in the street. I never used to be like this before. Dirty clothes, not showering for 2-3 days, not eating. Wearing orange hat with red socks. I just lost myself. One day became a year already, and it's I was just stuck in my addiction. And I'm just that street. You adapt to the environment, and now I'm just,
What is your drug, Chris?
Meth, yeah. I just can't seem to shake it or let it go. And it's it truly does take over you in a sense because everybody says it's all in your mind, it's all in your head. No, some people it is, everybody's different. But others just damn, I can't stop it, But
Your childhood, was there any abuse in it?
It was a lot of it was never sexual until recently, being in the street, stuff happens. But when I was growing up, it was more physical. My dad would hit my mom, beat my mom, and I would see it, so I would try to help, and then he would just hit me, or he'll make us watch her and beat her for hours. I was a lot of physical abuse, from my sister was a lot of mental on her, she ain't shit, you're a whore, your mom type of stuff with her. So she grew up thinking if you don't hit me, you don't love me, or she likes that type of stuff. I was the same too, hitting my girlfriends and stuff, but I know you don't hit the people you love, you're not supposed to. And like the sexual stuff, they didn't never. I never had any problems with that until like this last year. I I didn't get raped or nothing, but I like when you do drugs, sometimes you go into like we call it coma status, because you've been up for so many days. When you fall asleep, you're like you can't wake up for shit, and I guess I was coma status trying to watch other people sleep, because I don't like. I have a thing with people when you're asleep, you don't know, you might touch yourself, you might get a boner, you don't know, and like people are all right there just looking at you. I don't like that, so I was trying to watch them, and I was tired. I ended up passing out, and one of my brother's friends and stuff, I guess came and he I guess groped me or whatever, but I didn't remember nothing until somebody told me like, hey, you didn't, this happened to you, and I was like, what the fuck? And since then it hit a toll on me, because it's different, it's like it's private, it's like, it affects everybody differently, I guess.
So you were born female?
Yeah, female. I'm a female.
You're female?
Yeah.
But you're...
I'm a lesbian. I like girls, but I don't want to be a guy, but I only to go pee. But I'm okay with it. I like being a girl, I like being a woman.
You're a girl, you're just a little more masculine than
yeah, most. I like dress. I've always been a tomboy. I like dressing like a boy. Yeah. I don't like thongs, because they always get dirty, you know what I mean? but yeah.
Yeah, I think the world is much more accepting of that now.
Yeah, it is now, because everybody's pretty much gay nowadays. You know what I mean?
And crystal meth, they all seem to be.
Man, meth, man, that shit ain't no joke. I never thought I would have been like so like. It makes me feel like I never thought I would be like stuck on it like this, like, you know what I mean? I never thought I would be hitting the pookie, or I never thought I would be kicking it with people like, God damn, I'm here just, I don't like none of y'all motherfuckers right here, but I'm just here because I'm trying to hit a ball,
Where are you living now?
Actually, right, the truth, like, I'm living actually like in a tent right now,
But you're not on Skid Row, you're in South Central.
No, I'm off of, over there on Broadway and Rosecrans, where all the trailers are and stuff.
Right.
And I live in a tent, and I had opportunity. Like I had an apartment, and I still do have an apartment, but I gave it to my little sister and the lady who took her in, because they were in the street, and like I can handle being in the street. I'm grown, and she got kids and shit, so I'm like, fuck it, just take it, The rent's cheap, it's like $700 for a studio, and that's never found really. Yeah. But I didn't think it was gonna be this hard for me in the street, like shitting in buckets. I mean, using a fire hydrant to wash my hands, like it's like. One day becomes 2 days without showering, like 3 days, 4 days, like I don't want like 5 days without showering, and it's like I'm a female. I mean, females, it's an open wound, you gotta stay clean, but it's like you're so used to it. It's like, but the shit in it is unhumanitarian, like, in bags, using socks to wipe your ass, like it's kind of like sad, but that's where I'm at right now, like just like, and I'm just like kind of like fuck it, in a way. Like, but I know they're like I gotta like snap out of it somehow,
What emotions do you go through most?
Mostly like I feel ashamed, like depression a little bit. Yeah, I feel like because this is like the dope, I guess, brings out the worst in people sometimes, and I lost a lot of my integrity, my self-respect. I don't really have self-control whatsoever, so it makes me sad, it makes me feel ashamed of myself, depressed, but. Suicide has been a thing in my head for a long time, but I try to push that out because, like I had tried to hang myself in January,
You tried to hang yourself?
Yeah, and then like afterward I was like, oh shit, like I changed my mind type of thing, somebody had came, and I like kind of did help me, and like about 2 weeks later I found out that my ex-girlfriend's brother, but we were like long-time friends. He had actually hung himself 6 months prior, and he did die, And I got so angry, like, like I'm never gonna see him again, like not even in heaven or wherever we go, because that's a forbid. That's like one of the worst ones. Like the worst one's suicide, and we'll never meet again. And it just affected on his family. Like I know there's people out there that love me. I know like if I were to go, it's like I'm free of my. I may think I'm free of my like free of my like if I could like rest or like God take me out of my misery type of shit. But what about all the people you leave behind that do love me, Like, I'm gonna fuck up how many more lives, Just because my life's fucked up, because I can't handle it, or I can't get out of the hole that I got stuck in, There's plenty of ropes, but I'm just like, I guess I don't want to try hard enough, I guess, or.
What do you do for money now?
Shit, man. For money, fuck. Steal. I don't like to steal from people I know. I really don't. I don't like that, but I have. Still coming up. Usually I like grocery stores. Anything, flipping things, selling drugs. You know what I mean? Or fucking selling girls if I could. You know what I mean? Other people's shit, like come ups, credit cards, type of shit.
Do you have friends?
I have friends, but I don't really talk to much of I don't talk to a lot of my friends, like, you know, no more, because I distance myself so much because I didn't want my people to see me like this. Because I always, when I was married, you know, something happened with one of the kids, you know, and that destroyed me and my wife. So, and my wife, we were happy together. We had a happy family. Like it was great. You know, we had our own place. I was doing roofing. I used to be a roofer for Local 36. You know what I mean? And we just fell apart, and we couldn't handle what happened, and it just fucked me up so bad that I just started using as much as I could, trying to like overdose. I couldn't deal with the pain, but it's been almost a year, 2 years, and the pain's still there. So it's like I just wasted all that time and got more. Just dug a ditch for myself, you know.
How old are you now?
I'm 37.
You're 37. If you had your life to live all over again, what would you have done differently?
What I've done differently, I wouldn't have took things for granted. You know, I wouldn't have started using drugs. I would not have got on dope, because I was like, man, when I turn, I'm gonna stop at this age. Fuck no, man. That shit got a hold of me so like quick. It's like I can't let it go for shit. You know what I mean? Like at all. You know what I mean? But I would definitely think twice before I make the decisions I've made. You know?
Yeah. And living on the streets makes everything tougher.
Man, living on the streets is cold now. Like before, the streets I could it's all day. You know, it ain't nothing. But this is a different ballgame in the streets now. You can't trust nobody. You got like. If you can't leave your phone, you can't leave nothing. I seen somebody get jacked in 15 seconds for $100. Like, what the fuck? Because he fell asleep, you know? Like, dozed off because it's high, you know? The dope is heavy, you know? Like the fatty nowadays, like, you know what I mean? What's after that? Death? You know what I mean? That shit's so strong, it kills you.
Yeah.
And fuck, man, like, the streets is cold. It's cold outside.
What's your biggest fear?
Never getting back on my feet. Never becoming the person that I don't want to become the person that I was. I want to be better, you know. But I'm a person that grew up like with a lot of respect, self-respect, integrity is very important to me, and like I lost that, you know. And so I need that back. I need to find myself again and just get back on my feet, because I know I could be better. You
think the childhood you had kind of set you up for?
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Like I don't blame my mother or father, you know. I really don't, but I do hold them accountable, because like. I'm abusive because I hate every girl I've been with because of my father. I blame it because of seeing him, and I hate that, but I am abusive. I mean, it's bad. Like and the drugs, like, didn't help at all. Like my childhood, it formed me into who I became, and it's on me because I chose it. But damn, maybe if my parents would have just maybe did a little better, just not giving up on me or giving up on themselves. Everybody says it's always because your kids will do better without you. Nah, man. A kid, unless you're like citing your kids and being like, that's it, then yeah. But every kid needs their parents, you know. Their love is what's most important, that helps you grow, you know. And like shit, somebody's not even my mother. Her love is so strong as a mother that it filled everything in me that I needed to be to get through that stage when I was young, you know. Because I went through that stage of just like gangbanging, not giving a fuck. Like hey man, I'm just. Drop me off on the corner, pick me up on the next corner. I'll walk down this motherfucker because I wasn't tripping, you know what I mean? I just like wanted just to hurt people or my enemies, you know? But if my child, maybe, you know, if it was a little bit, maybe if they just tried a little harder, you know, then I would have been a better person, you know? Or I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But I'm here, and the only thing I could do is like take responsibility for my actions and try to get on my feet before it's too late, because it's either death or I get it right, because I don't want to be 40 and be in the same place I was when I was 17. Fuck no. Can't.
All right, man. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me share it.
All right, Erin. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.